welcome to Tales at Twilight. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know when a new mystery is ready to unfold. Are you ready? In the heart of Millbrook, a small, quiet town, the streets were bathed in a dull orange hue as the sun began to set. It was the last day of summer, a time when the town's children, having enjoyed their long break, would start preparing for school. But not this year. This year, things were different. Luke, a tall man with rough hands and deep-set eyes, was responsible for a peculiar shift in Millbrook. He had come to the town just as summer began. Nobody knew him, and he never spoke much. But wherever he went, an odd energy followed. Often, Luke would stand at the edge of the town's forest, staring into the dense woods. The park near the forest, once full of life and children's laughter, was now silent. No one dared to enter it after dusk. Too many tales had been told of the faceless creature with long, thin arms that lurked within. As the sky darkened, children scampered home. Doors were locked. Windows were shuttered. Nobody wanted to be outside. Except for Sarah. Sarah, a high school senior with a fiery spirit, was never one to believe in tales or superstitions. She didn't buy into the nonsense and wanted to prove a point. Armed with a flashlight and her courage, she headed to the forest, determined to prove once and for all that everyone's fears were irrational and that there was nothing to be afraid of. As she descended deeper into the forest, the trees seemed to close in around her. Every rustle, every distant howl made her heart race. But she trudged on, the small circle of light from her flashlight leading the way. She reached the heart of the forest where the old, broken well stood. Rumors had it that whoever gazed into the well after sunset would never be seen again. Sarah laughed at the thought and boldly shined her light into its depths. At first, there was nothing. Then, two glowing eyes stared back. Panicking, Sarah stumbled back. The long, thin arms emerged from the well, frantically flailing and grasping for her. She screamed, her voice echoing through the stillness. Suddenly, Luke appeared. He had been watching. He stepped between Sarah and the well. The creature hesitated, then withdrew, leaving behind an eerie silence. Sarah's heart pounded loudly in her ears. "Why did you help me?" she asked, gasping for breath. Luke looked at her, his deep-set eyes filled with sadness. "I was the one who awakened it," he admitted. "It was an old curse I brought upon this town, but I won't let it take you." Sarah wanted to run, but her feet felt glued to the ground. She looked at the well, then at Luke. "What was that?" "It's a spirit, angered by a betrayal from long ago. I tried to seal it, but it's too strong," Luke said, his voice trembling. "Every end of summer it hunts." "But why Millbrook?" Sarah asked. Luke's eyes filled with tears. "This was my home. I used to live here as a kid. One summer, me and my friend Ethan were taking a shortcut home through the forest, and we found this well. It was said to grant a single wish to anyone brave enough to ask. Ethan and I made a pact. We would both whisper a wish into the well, but we promised to never reveal our wishes to each other. Ethan went first. He was always so happy, and his life seemed so great. I wondered what more he could possibly wish for. I was so jealous of him and his perfect life. He was smart, rich, and his parents never fought. Quite the opposite of my life. Once Ethan had made his wish, I stepped up to the well. I whispered, "I wish for the life Ethan has," thinking of the love and wealth Ethan's family had. The next evening, we took the same shortcut home through this forest. As we were walking, we heard whispers and the sounds of leaves cracking beneath squeaking bikes' tires. We were being followed. Not knowing who or what was following us, we started to run. We quickly became lost, not knowing which direction to go. A dense fog was setting in, making it hard to see. Ethan, who was always faster than me, yelled from ahead to keep following him. Suddenly, I heard a panicked scream followed by immediate silence. I froze. Finally gaining courage, I walked forward. A small ledge stopped me in my tracks. Below, the dark, hollow pit of the well. This wasn't where I remembered it to be, but we were all so lost. Ethan was nowhere to be found. I yelled for him, but no response. As I inched closer to the edge, I could see a small piece of fabric from the blue jacket he had been wearing. Had he fallen in the well? I peered in slowly. That's when I saw a monster rise up from the depths of the well, its face bearing a striking similarity to Ethan's. "You did this to me, and now I must end you," it snarled. I ran faster than I have ever ran in my life. To this day, I don't know how I made home. Sarah blankly stared at him. "So how do we end this?" He shook his head. "Only if it takes me." The silence was palpable. The only sound was the distant chirping of the night creatures and Sarah's nervous breathing. Suddenly, the faceless creature lunged from the shadows, its elongated arms reaching for Luke. He didn't resist. As they disappeared into the dark void of the well, Sarah's scream echoed through the night. The next day, Millbrook woke to a bright, sunny morning. But the atmosphere was different. The heaviness that had once plagued the town was gone. The children played, the birds chirped, and life resumed. But at the heart of the forest, the old well remained. A chilling reminder of the sacrifices made and the end of a haunting summer. And every end of summer, when the sun sets, the town of Millbrook locks its doors and windows, praying for the dawn. Thank you for joining us on this suspenseful journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed these tales, remember to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a moment of mystery and excitement. Until next time, stay curious and embrace the thrill of the unknown with Tales at Twilight.